Good morning from Pollokshields. Look at that blue sky, which is not remotely like it was when I arrived here this morning, which was bucketing down with rain. So what did I say? Rain with a chance of cats and dogs. But it was quite an amazing thing because I was dancing, and it was look at all that traffic. And they got some dance this morning, which must have made their ride to work just that much nicer. But look at that. Can you see that? Wet? Look at that. See the difference between the dry and the wet there? I'm absolutely soaked. That's my rear end. There you go. There you go. Second time has been featured in the Nike advert. My bum was in a Nike advert years ago. Featured. Is that particularly special, I suppose. Anyway, I digress. Good morning. Here I am in Pollokshields, which is where we're going to be doing the 100 dancing on Sunday, the 6th, which I'm very excited about. We've got 65 people signed up, so there's still 35 spaces left. So if you want to be part of that, please message me. So I decided I'm gonna be dancing in Pollokshields for the next up to the 6th, and I don't know if that guy was talking to me. Anyway, and so I was looking. There are different spaces, but for me, the grass is too squidgy. And over there, which I was thinking about, there are loads of paths, but I don't want to get in anyone's way. So this is actually quite a good area, and it's great because right now in particular, there's loads of traffic, and gosh, it's really a hassle to be stuck in traffic. And if you can imagine, you're stuck in traffic, and then you can be looking forward to some crazy dancing moment or some beautiful dance, depending on your perspective. So, but that's all good. I did have one guy walked through, and he was very particular to walk right past me, and he like glared at me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Good morning." Poor thing. Anyway, what are you doing, dancing? And then Safi and Richard, two of my friends' kids, on their way to school, they ran over the weekend. Oh, I know! Gave me a big hug, and that was great. And there was very early on, and it was like bucketing. I mean, it was probably. You can see how soaked I am. It was bucketing down with rain, and this mom was walking her wee son, and kids are great because he was probably about 6. And he just was like, what's that? And she's like just completely like ignoring it. But I thought it's quite interesting though, because it's something about creating different stories on the street, and that will become, kids understand it because it's good, because it's natural, and especially at that age, they've gone from being in a very healthy, quote unquote healthy nursery environment, which is multi-sensory and involves lots of play and creativity, and it's about their personal development on lots of different levels, into an environment that's basically about sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, which is very counterintuitive. And that's like when we start to shut down our senses, but which is and hence get really, and we try and reclaim it for the rest of our lives and be physically healthy and emotionally healthy and all this. So, and I had this thought because I was thinking about, I bumped into my neighbor Pat yesterday, and we were just talking about some of the issues that are in Pollokshields, and they're redoing the wee playground up the way. We were talking about there are a handful, and it's just a handful. I think there's something like 11,000 people who live in Pollokshields, 11 to 16,000, something, I don't know. Anyway, it's in the thousands like that, and there are probably about 10 boys who are troublemakers, really. And they do things like they set trash cans on fire and do graffiti and things like this. And you think we'd be able to get it together for them, but no. And it does, and it messes it up for the rest of the kids who are generally good, who are good. And I think to myself, I had this thought in my head, and I thought, kids don't want to be counted, they want to be seen. It's not about count. It's this idea of counting. Every kid counts. And I'm like, well, what does that actually mean in terms of, and these acts of violence are, especially at that age, because these kids who do these things are anywhere from 8 to 13, 14 years old. They're quite young, still, and like a crime is created, and it's a big shout out of look at me, and every time they do it, they get a reaction. And for me, and even when I've worked with kids in communities, I'm always trying to head them off at the chase, you know what I mean, and direct. Like, how fantastic. A kid who's got the balls to set trash can on fire, direct all that energy into something creative and something positive, and oh my God, the world would transform. But we've got this police mentality of punishing and locking them up, and it's not that they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions, but I do believe that everyone is born into this world good, and then because of circumstances, things happen. You know, out of very rare cases, obviously, if they're psychological, chemical imbalances and stuff like this. But this ADD, you know, and putting kids on medication to shut them down, I think, oh God, it's going to be considered a crime of humanity in another generation's time. I'll say, what the hell were we thinking? How many geniuses did we miss out on because we didn't have the tools or the skills to direct all of that immense energy? So I was dancing for them today. I was dancing, and I thought, well, in a way, me dancing for them is giving them a different story as well, because I represent chaos. I certainly do. And we don't know, you know, we don't know how to handle that in our society largely. And unfortunately, we are shutting down a lot of the programs and the opportunities that would help us to alleviate that, and in a very proactive way to give young people skills that will serve them for a lifetime of feeling good. A lifetime of feeling good. That's what I want. I want kids to have a lifetime of feeling good. Like myself. So yes, that's what I was dancing for today. So I really do like this space, actually. I like it because of all the different mix. I like areas that are kind of mixed like this. And you've got the commuters and the cars. It's quite a busy area this time of morning. In about an hour, it will be completely dead. And the space is it's a little bit sloped and it's a bit lumpy, but it will do. And all those people who live in those flats over there. So woohoo! So I'll be back here tomorrow if you've got wishes. Let me know. And I was thinking to myself too, because lots of times, like, I do these little podcasts and I'm like this in my face. And it's just because I've gone from being in this completely like la space into a space of needing to articulate what it is that I'm doing, which is a mental thing. So automatically, like, because I'm a very expressive person in my body, my face just goes, and I'm like, it makes it seem really serious. And I'm so, like, people who see me dance, they laugh for the most part, or smile, and they go, oh, how beautiful you are. So anyway, that's my message for the day. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.